Welcome back with Nana, reading with Nana and pining away. We're heading to chapter 6. If you remember right, at the end of chapter 5, Dipper had melted all the clones except for Tyrone, and Tyrone was challenging him. I wonder what's going to happen. Chapter 6. Back on the dance floor, the contest to see who could party the hardiest was in full swing. Mabel did the worm, while the crowd that had gathered around her cheered and clapped. One more song, dudes, Seuss announced, and then it's time for the bestowing of the party crown. It's gonna be the... He pressed the button and the sound of the bomb exploding reverberated. Seuss smiled. Nailed it! Mabel walked up to Pacifica. Pacifica, I just want to say that whoever wins, it's been a super fun party. She held out her hand. Pacifica did not shake her hand. Aw, it thinks it's gonna win, she said meanly. Then she cupped her hand around her ear. Hey, did you hear that? People clapping for the weird girl. Yeah, me neither. She walked away. But Mabel didn't lose her smile. She was having fun, and Pacifica wasn't going to ruin it. Upstairs, Tyrone had Dipper in a headlock. Say it! Say I can dance with Wendy, said Tyrone. Never, Dipper grunted, breaking free and putting the headlock on Tyrone instead. Both boys froze when they heard Wendy's laugh floating up from the dance floor. Wendy! They asked at once, and both moved to the railing to investigate. Robbie had returned. He and Wendy were tucked in a corner, talking and laughing. Dipper and Tyrone sighed. We blew it, man, they said together. Then they sank to the floor in defeat. I don't know. Do you want to go and grab a couple of sodas or something? Tyrone asked. As the two boys headed downstairs, Seuss was riling up the crowd on the dance floor. He stood on the stage, flanked by Mabel and Pacifica. Let the party crown voting commence, he announced. Good luck, Mabel, Pacifica said, peering around Seuss's belly. Then her eyes narrowed. She clearly didn't mean it. Applaud to vote for Mabel, Seuss yelled. Lots of people applauded, including Stan and Mabel's new friends, Candy and Grenda. Yay, go Mabel, Grenda bellowed. Let's check the applause-o-meter, Seuss said, raising his right arm like it was the arm on a real applause measuring machine. His arm stopped straight up in the air. Pretty good, Mabel grinned. And your next contestant, Pacifica, Seuss announced. At first, only Pacifica's friends clapped. Then Pacifica glared at the other kids. And they nervously started applauding too. Seuss's left arm went up, and stopped straight up in the air, even with his right arm. Uh-oh, a tie. This has like never happened before, Seuss said. Pacifica frowned. She wasn't used to losing or tying, just winning. But she got an idea. She marched over to Old Man McGucket, who was dozing on some folding chairs. She dangled $1 in front of his face. Sniffing the air, he woke up and grabbed it. Then he clapped with glee. Seuss's left arm started to move. The applause put Pacifica over the top. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner, said Seuss sadly. The winner of the contest is Pacifica Northwest. Seuss put the crown on her head. Thank you, everyone, she said, beaming at the crowd. Everyone, come to the after party at my parents' boat. Woohoo! A bunch of the kids in the crowd picked up Pacifica. They streamed out of the mystery shack chanting, "Pacifica, Pacifica, Pacifica." Mabel looked sad. "Sorry I let you guys down," she told Candy and Grinda, who had stayed behind. "I understand if you want to leave." "But then we would miss the sleepover," Candy said with a grin. Mabel was puzzled. "The what?" "We want to call our moms and sleep over here with you. You're like a total rock star," said Grinda. Candy took the latest issue of Cool Dudes out of her backpack. I have magazine, boys." Mabel's face lit up. "Really? Your guys? You guys?" "Maybe we don't have as many friends as Pacifica, but we have each other," Candy said. "And that's a pretty good, I think." "Seuss," Mabel called out. "Play another song. This thing's going all night." "Way ahead of you, ham bone," Seuss replied, sliding a record onto the turntable. The music started, and Mabel and her new friends started to dance. Dipper and his clone didn't feel much like dancing. They sat on the roof gazing at the stars. They each popped open a can of Pit-Cola. "You think we really even have a chance with Wendy?" Dipper asked Tyrone. "I mean, she's 15, we're 12. "I don't know, man," Tyrone replied. "I hope so, but we're making zero progress the way we're doing it. The only good conversation you had with her was when you didn't do any of that list stuff." Dipper nodded. "I know. Mabel was right. I do get in my own way." "Literally," they said in unison. The two boys clinked soda cans, and each took a sip. Then a look of horror came over Tyrone's face. "Oh boy, don't look now," he said, gazing down at his stomach, which was beginning to ripple. The soda was dissolving him from the inside. "Tyrone," called Dipper. "It's okay, dude. I had a good run," Tyrone said as he melted. "Remember what we talked about?" "Of course," said Dipper. Tyrone's body was just a puddle. Only his head remained. "Hey, and quit being such a wimp around Wendy," he said as his head started to dissolve. "For my sake." And with that, Tyrone was no more. Dipper fell to his knees. "Tyrone, you were the only one who understood." With a sigh, Dipper climbed down from the roof. He looked through the window into the mystery shack. Mabel and the two girls were dancing, and Wendy stood against the wall, nodding her head to the music. Dipper took out his checklist. If he followed the plan, maybe he could... Rip! He tore the list in half and stepped inside the shack. From now on, there would be no more plans for trying to impress Wendy. It would be just Dipper and the original Dipper himself. Stay tuned for part 2 of Gravity Falls, Pining Away.